What is going on, everyone, and welcome to WreckTalk. And boy, Sundays feel a whole lot better after a victory for the Jackets, don't they? This is a good win for Tech. I know it's Duke, but Duke was undefeated. Duke beat North Carolina last week. Now, we obviously know North Carolina's not all that good, but they're more talented than Duke. They got to a 20-point lead on Duke. Duke shut UNC out in the second half and won by a point, coming back from a 20-point deficit. Manny Diaz is a fantastic defensive coach, and Duke is a disciplined team. Not to mention, Tech had come off of a 2-game ACC losing streak, losing to Syracuse and Louisville. And just to add insult to injury, both of those teams lost in subsequent weeks. In fact, Louisville lost their next 2 games, but they're still crying in my comment section about having the best roster in all of football. So go figure that. Now, I'm going to do a whole other video on just how this is one of the craziest weeks of college football I've ever watched, but that's not the purpose of this video. Proud of our boys, though. We were able to run the ball. We're going to look at I'm going to pull up some key stats here. Had like 245 yards rushing. The thing that you still kind of don't like there's something off with our offense for sure, and the title of the video isn't clickbait. We'll just go ahead and bury the lead here. When I was riding home from that game, I was listening to 680 The Fan, and they basically said Haynes King is injured. He has a leg injury. He's been nursing for some weeks now, and I could tell at the game. I don't know if you guys could tell on TV. Every time he got up or walked back to the huddle, he just kind of put his hands on his hips and he kind of looked down and walked slow. Kind of the same reaction that you would have if your wife said, "Hey, by the way, I just went through your phone and I need to talk." It's kind of the same affect that Haynes King had. So for all the people that have been wanting to bad talk Haynes King, the dude's given up his body, man. I mean, think about this. When was the last time you saw Haynes King slide? He's playing injured. He's, fighting for every single yard, not sliding. And, the dude's just a ball player, right? Had a good game today. Not that many passing yards, but no turnovers for Georgia Tech, which is huge. And no game-changing, awful mistakes. Now, we did make some mistakes. If you watch that halftime video, I was quite pissed. Now, just to be honest, when I'm at the game, kind of an emotional guy, right? In fact, if you're sitting by me, usually I just get very quiet when I'm watching the games in the stands, and I'm just like, and it's just the rage is boiling as everything doesn't go my way. But hey, such is college football. The issue for me is the game started perfect, right? We marched right down the field and score, hold them to a 3-and-out, get the ball back. From the time we scored in that opening drive to the fourth quarter, basically, we only scored 3 points. So in really 2 quarters of football, half the game, we were only able to put up 3 points. Again, there's something off with this offense. Now, the other thing they were saying on 680 The Fan is that Key really challenged Buster Faulkner to change things up, get creative, find a way to get us yards, find a way for us to get points on the board. What I did like is, we didn't abandon the run completely and just throw 40, 50 times. Now, Haynes King did throw 31 times, though. So we did throw the ball quite a bit. But we were able to get the ball to the perimeter. We ran some jet sweeps with Singleton Jr. We hit a good pass across the middle to Singleton. I think it was Singleton. And Malik Rutherford's just showing out. We did a really good job in this game in playing to our strengths, which is like some of the speed with our wide receivers. It was really good to see Isaiah Canyon get in. He looks like an absolute phenom. He's every bit of 6'4". So even though we, basically were held to a field goal and a half a play, you can see the improvement. I don't think Jordan Brown started. I saw us rotating offensive linemen in quite a bit. So the offense, improved this week. Defensively, what a performance, man. We held them to 75 yards going into the half. They couldn't run the ball on us. We were getting pressure. Vandenberg looked really, really good. Had a sack in that game. So we're able to get some pressure. We're able to get a sack. We gave up some big plays. Still in the passing game, it's not that we're out of position. It's like we just don't make a play on the ball when we're in position at times. Now, there were some mistakes. We talked about some mistakes. The final minute and a half going into the half, we get a 3-and-out. They're going to punt. We get a delay a game as the return team. Now, if you're like me, you're like, how do you get a delay a game when you don't have possession of the ball? Well, if you're mimicking the snap count, that's a penalty. It's a delay a game. That gives them a chance to go for it on 4th and 3. They convert, and then you get the PI call. Now, here's what I'll say about the PI call. Those are tough. They were kind of hand fighting and jockeying for position the whole way down, and then our guy turned and caught it. Whatever, if you're going to call that. But that flag came in super late. And like I said when I called in on C-Dog's show right after the game, it felt like because it was a turnover, it's like, oh, we must have been the one who was getting more of an advantage in this hand fighting. Whatever. It really doesn't matter, though, because all of that can be avoided if you don't get a completely stupid penalty on trying to mimic their snap count on a punt. Stop doing that. That's completely dumb. Then we give up a touchdown right after that, right across the middle. And it's like a 3-point game. What was it, 7-10 going into half, and they get the ball back. Now, again, the defense bowed up. I'm so proud of this defense, even in pass defense. Let's look at some of these stats. I've got key stats here. We talked about the run game. Jamal Haynes, and it was his birthday, evidently. Now, I couldn't hear the broadcast, but happy birthday, Jamal. You had a day today. 128 yards, 6.7 yards per carry. It's no coincidence that we were able to run the ball. It's no coincidence that we were able to run the ball in this game, and we get a 2-point or a 2-score victory, right? Like, that was the whole difference for Georgia Tech. Our defense bowed up, and we were able to run the ball. 6.7 yards a carry. That's just game-winning football. 245 yards rushing. 412 yards total. I mean, we've been struggling to get 100 yards rushing. Excuse me. In the games leading up to this. Now, on the other hand, you hold Duke to 74. You hold Duke to under 300 yards of offense. You do not see that much between two conference opponents in today's college football. It just, I mean, that might happen a few times a year. Time of possession basically doubled them up. And that time of possession is a credit to your run game. You were able to hold the ball, keep your defense off the field. And what? Lo and behold, your defense on the field as much, and they play much, much, much better. So, huge. The other thing, Duke hasn't given up a fourth quarter touchdown this year. Now, I know that they haven't played the best opponents. I get that. But we were able to score 2 touchdowns in the fourth. So, slow start. Third quarter was rough. End of the first half was kind of rough. But dang it, when the game mattered the most, Georgia Tech was able to put points on the board late in that game and really seal the deal. So, look, like I said, I couldn't be happier. This gets Tech right back on track to where they need to be. Gets us to 4 wins. If you can go into Chapel Hill next week, which I'll be there, and get a win there, that's 5 wins. You're a win away from a bowl. And I think that's right where we can't really expect Tech, especially with the trouble we've had this year, to be better than that, right? Also, I can't believe I forgot to mention it. 3rd and short, power down Pyron, baby. Zach Pyron comes in, and he just gets a first. Hey, coach, you need a first? Yeah, I'll go out there and get it. Ain't no big deal for Zach Pyron, right? And we just know in a big game that's close, when we get in that 3rd and 1 situation, he's going to pull what we saw Tebow used to do in the day where he steps like he's about to run, and you hit a big touchdown pass wide open. So we know that's coming at some point. We haven't done it yet. We're saving it for the right moment. So, again, great victory for Georgia Tech. On to North Carolina. And do you know Idiot Collins just had 520 yards dropped on him via Pitt? You think he tried to shake Narduzzi's hand after that just to rip it away again? I just bought the tickets too. Right there on the third row, right behind the North Carolina bench, is where Collins' daddy will be sitting. And guys, I know I didn't put a lot of stuff out this last week. Stay tuned this week. If you didn't know, I've put my hair on the line. I'm so confident. I said I'll shave my head bald if North Carolina wins. Don't mean nothing to me. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about this game? You looking forward to Key going into Chapel Hill and giving Collins his medicine? Let me know in the comments. Y'all have a good one.